Welcome back, everybody, here at the GSL Codes. As of now, Genius is dominating. I mean, really dominating.
Yeah, it's...
I thought this was going to be what it was going to look like when DRG played. I mean, it might still look like that, but...
Actually, in fact, you know, he makes tiny mistakes. First game, Genius tricks him with the one Colossus, forces like 10 Vikings that if those were other units, Alive probably wins that game at that point during the one engagement where he sniped the High Templars.
Yep.
And then in that last game, Alive scouts it, but just he almost counters it perfectly. Eventually, he has his forces kind of split, and a single force field at the ramp really kind of costs him the game.
Curious to see what strategy Genius does next. He's starting to remind me a lot of MVP in the sense that he's picking apparently the right builds every time.
I gotta say though, that game, with that game scouted, I don't know if that was the right build or that was just Genius being a badass.
Well, he executed it perfectly, man. Apparently,
it was insane. It's so funny because we always joke and laugh about how Genius will use
we even do this off camera on our breaks. Like, all right, well, Genius got a Void Rail in. And
well, he's got a best of 3 for sure. There's at least one Void Rail in today. Like, that's just what he does. He likes that Void Ray unit, Tasteless.
He does, and he uses it really well. I was interested. I guess, you know, it's not like he needed to do it any better, but sometimes I just feel like with some of these Void Ray all-ins, just if you get that charged up on that depot, whatever it takes, get it a distance, get that one depot up, never get that charge up, it's going to go up perfectly. All right, there are even more nerds in the studio now. It's packed. It's packed, guys.
It really is.
Here at the GSL Codex. Excuse me. There are no boats here. Nesky stole them all.
He only bought them.
He bought them all with GSL prize money. Okay.
He would be the world's greatest thief, though.
He would be, yes. If he wasn't so rich, he just bought everything. In the bottom right starting location, a player, he's being outclassed. He's going to have a huge comeback. He is
Fnatic Alive.
I don't think anybody could read that because they were shaking it so much. In the upper left, we have a Protoss player. He's been playing perfectly so far. His ID is
MVP Genius.
The thing about Genius is that he's somebody I don't think you're going to ever beat several times in a row. You can beat him, but to beat Genius 3 times in a row, he only has to beat you once. That's a pretty tall order.
He's like too tricky, man. Wow, Super Saiyan Genius.
Super Saiyan nerds. All right.
That's only a level 1 Super Saiyan, though. I'd say that Genius has at least level 3 within him. Although, I mean, he's only going to go level 3 just for that extra power boost. You don't really want to be level 3 because you slow down with all those muscles, you know?
There's some Twitter account that...
The over 9,000?
Oh, the over 9,000 Twitter account that if you say... What do you have to type?
You just type over 9,000, the number 9,000 and over, and
you can put anything else in there,
Yeah, and it's like, it's so funny, man. It like tweets back. It's like, what? Over 9,000? It's like the cutest Twitter account, man.
I love it. Right,
Speaking of Twitter, follow us on Twitter. I'm Arctosis. He's Call Me Tasteless. If you like dubstep and dick jokes and StarCraft ramblings, that sums us up completely.
That's us pretty much, guys.
Of course, mine would be the StarCraft ramblings.
That's right. Now, the probe, excuse me, it was the probe toss. He did elect to keep the probe inside the main base. So, I think at this point in time, Genius is saying, I am so much better. Oh, that's actually a really nice hiding spot there.
It's a sneaky probe, man.
So it's going to be very clear at this point in time, but the gas is not being taken, that there is a command center expansion.
He sees exactly what's going on. This was completely worth losing the probe to really see these gas timings, in fact. With these gases not going up yet, he might even be thinking, okay, it looks like you're probably going to make 3 more barracks. You know? I think that's smart.
Let's see if you can do a dodge here.
It's really tricky. A lot of times you'll see people double fake with that and actually go right back out where they came in like a second later.
Yeah.
That's the sneakiest way. But he did not get to see the 2 gases that Alive did in fact throw down. So that's good for
That's
Alive.
good for Alive.
Meanwhile, Genius taking his natural. Looks like we're going to have pretty standard openings for both players. Genius likely to throw up a couple more gates and a robo pretty soon here.
This game more likely to look like game number 1.
Certainly, yes. Would not be too surprised about that.
Now the bunker is almost complete. And we do have a few more gateways being thrown down. Everything very textbook so far, guys. If you want to copy... Oh, look at that. Factory right away. Genius's build, guys, if you want to copy a good build, this is one you can do. You have to be fast enough to get everything out in time, or you will just lose to a rush.
Very true. I wonder what he's going to do here with the factory, actually. This is kind of interesting to me. I wonder if he's going to go right up to something like a Cloaked Banshee. And, in fact, you know, Genius almost always goes for 3-gate robo after his expansion. Like, literally almost every single time. He's not someone like, let's say, MC, who oftentimes will just throw up 6 gates or something, or 4-gate you. Really, Genius is pretty cut and dry with that. He likes to open safely and not die early on. So if he is rushing up to something like that, that would surprise me. But in fact, getting a tech lab on that factory, so it looks like we definitely could see a Siege Tank Marine push. Likely he will get a starport as well. Oh, it is, yeah, he's going double reactor, in fact. Wow, it's absolutely just a Siege Tank Marine push, man.
So is he going to do that thing where you make a bunch of bunkers right outside their base and just try to push in?
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to push across that map so quickly. And a lot of this comes down to how quickly you get that observer out to actually scout what's going on, because this will crush some styles. Like if you are teching right up you know, into the wrong tech route. Let's say that you're going for Twilight and Double Forge. This is a timing that's going to hit you when that stuff hasn't really kicked in to the level you want it. But Genius, with this quick observer, he's going to be able to figure out what's going on quite quickly and decide what he wants to do to try to counter this, which likely will have to involve Colossus. I mean, he can try for the Immortal style, but that gets a little hard, especially that starport going down, because those Marines are going to be very beefy and there's going to be a ton of them.
All right, 2 gases taken. Well, 2 more gases, excuse me, at the expansion. I like to say stuff that just happened to start a game. I'm like, he made a depot at the ramp.
Otasis. Well,
you know that observer portrait always reminds me of that eye in Jabba the Hutt's palace?
Really?
Yeah, the one that comes and goes like, you know what I'm talking about?
It reminds me of this like flying eye from a show I watched when I was a kid.
Oop. He sees the Marines moving out. He did spot a tank, right?
Yeah, he sees exactly what's going on here. And in fact, he is going right up to the robotic space as soon as he scouted it. And he's making an Immortal right now. And of course, yeah, you want that Immortal. You want to make as many robo units as possible. But the next unit out of there will most likely be a Colossus. Now, this is going to be pretty hard. This is a very quick push timing here by Alive. His first medevac not even with his army quite yet.
So you can see a parade of Terran units moving across the map.
I love this observer positioning.
Oh,
ooh.
That was not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
He wanted to trap something over there.
He definitely did. You know, if he could just cut up some of this attack right away, that is going to slow Alive down immensely. And in fact, oh my god, he's actually getting a second
now this is
Immortal.
This is how you do it, guys. Force the Terran into siege mode before they get to your base. Same in StarCraft 1, to let that Terran just walk up to your base and siege up.
The bunker push has begun. It's got to be careful. Both players have to be careful. Those Marines cannot get too out of position, or Genius will force field them there.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, nice control by both players. Really nice.
Now, no, the Terran did not want to push this far back.
Yeah, that's very true. He slowed him down quite a bit, and that's going to allow him to get some Colossi out. He does have the double Immortal, and that's, I mean, it's beautiful.
That was so smart. Only sending the Immortals out there because the way they absorb damage. Yeah, just sniping the CD.
He's taking no real damage on the Immortals yet, which is great. He just lets those charge up. Really slowing this down more than Alive wanted. He wanted to already be up that ramp.
Yeah.
And Genius has slowed him down so much that he got enough robo build time to already have 2 Immortals, to already get a Colossus out. Of course, he is skipping Colossus range so far because he's been trying to get out more and more units, but starting it just now. That's going to be a crucial upgrade for holding on.
All right, the Marines are coming up now.
Oh, man, he's got to be careful. If that gets cut in half, man, it's going to end. And look at this. I love this move going up to do a drop.
This is really smart.
And, in fact, he doesn't even see it until it starts shooting. And there you go. He does see it now. But that is just such a great move. It's going to draw a good portion of the army back.
Oh, this is good handling here. Just send that Colossus up there. The Colossus takes care of Marines, no problem.
Genius slowing him down so much, and that's really what you have to do against this. And in fact, Alive has realized at this point that he's in some trouble. He's already taken his third base. He's like, all right, I guess this is like a contain now, not a kill. And he is right. Here we go. Genius coming down. No Thermal Lance yet, and 2 Colossus out.
Oh, the Immortals hitting the tanks perfectly.
Just a beautiful thing by Genius here. This was... I mean, that was perfectly executed. He slowed Alive down, he got the critical mass, and he moved out when he knew he could crush everything. Could not have done better.
The Colossus is going to see this too.
Sorry,
this is just how good Colossi are against Marines. Meanwhile, it looks like he's backed off. Alive has. Genius now, the dominant position on the map. You can see the... we haven't gotten a shot of it yet, but the command center was actually moved from the third base.
Yeah.
It was evacuated from that location.
It's a good choice there. He's in a lot of trouble, man, with 3 ranged Colossus out, 2 Immortals with their shields back up, and a plethora of other random units. It doesn't even matter. He has so much in comparison to Alive. Alive does have some Vikings out. He is still making siege tanks, but those Colossus, they have their range, and ooh, he's getting Warp Prism speed.
Oh, I like it.
That's really interesting. That's really, really interesting.
All right, he's moving up here now. And, if he gets this bunker, the Zealots can get in, and they do.
Oh, man, a ton of damage being done. Plenty of Stalkers
I
off
think
the
that's
Vikings.
actually it. If he gets those Zealots and target that, so the few SCVs, well, they're not in the SCVs anymore, excuse me. The Marauders. That's GG, dude.
Yeah, definitely is.
That's it, man.
The tank's doing absolutely nothing against these Immortals in the front.
This nerd got melted.
He absolutely got melted, Tasteless. Nerds shouldn't be playing with fire, Tasteless, or they're gonna get melted.
That's right, man. All right. Apparently, meanwhile, this is going on. But does anybody care?
No.
No. Okay.
Not.
See, because... Yeah, that's it. GG.
And that's it, man. Genius. It's his first GSL Finals. A player that many thought would take one of the first 3 GSLs. He's back, Tasteless. He's in the finals, and he's got to be feeling like $1 million, or at least $25,000, which is the minimum he can win.
Wow, Alive was so badly beaten. That was such a one-sided series.
Yes.
Game 1 goes all the way to the end game, and he just manages to he just gets taken out in a very epic long game. In game number 2, the Genius cheeses, it's spotted, it still works. Game 3, Alive tries to do sort of a mid-game timing push, completely deflected.
Yeah, he slowed that down expertly. He got out 2 Immortals.
Yes.
Expertly, man.
Expertly, man.
He did that. And then he stalled it out, got the right Colossus count, and that was it, man. What is Alive going to do against that? He chose a tech route that once you get a certain number of ranged Colossus out, it's not going to do as well.
Guys at home, ideally, what you want to do is get the bunkers up, the siege tanks up, as close to the expansion as possible, because if they don't have enough Colossi out, you can just start hitting the Nexus with your siege tanks, and then you lose the expansion.
Yeah,
Terran can do whatever he wants from there.
I do want to point out one of the crucial parts of that hold was his observer position. He sent one observer very quickly in the main, figured out the unit composition, and then he had another observer that watched as Alive was moving back and forth trying to gain position, and he countered that.
Yeah.
Alive, all his moves were seen. There was no surprise factor, and Genius just knew how to deal with it.
Also, forcing the siege mode in the middle of the map.
Absolutely.
Whenever you have somebody with siege tanks trying to come at you, you can do this with Zerg even, or if
to any race.
To any race that's Terran, is if you just move in, they siege up in the middle of the map because they know the siege tank does so much damage in siege mode. Then you just run back. Yeah. Then he has to unsiege, which, as you guys have seen, the animation takes a while.
And buying time is what you need to buy against attacks like this.
Smart nerd.
Great play, man. I'm glad to see him in the finals.
Yeah. I really thought Alive was going to win at least like 2 games, but I guess not. It is now in our studio 7:05.
Yeah, that first one all over with. Amazing. DRG against Gumiho next. TVZ, a long matchup. I think that this could be a very long series, and I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people are saying. Everyone's pretty sure about DRG. I am too, in fact, but
Gumiho's got this overwhelming style.
He does.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to have Gumiho against DRG here in the semifinals of the GSL Code S, so stay tuned.
Queen. Johan. Johan. Queen. Johan. Johan.